The flyweight challenger from New Zealand met his competitor Cody Garbrandt in the fighting ring and dominated the battle in an iconic win. And he's pretty sure about his next win too. Keep watching to find out what Kara-France has to say about his victory and his chances of winning the UFC Flyweight title. Let's begin. First up, Kara adamant that he is in line for the next Flyweight championship match. Kai boosted his chances of winning the UFC Flyweight title by defeating Cody Garbrandt. The mixed martial arts fighter is currently ranked 6th in the Flyweight category, while Garbrandt is claimed the bantamweight championship title by defeating Dominic Cruz at UFC 207. The two competed in the flyweight category on Sunday, and the results have significantly strengthened Kara's position in the UFC. Here are all the details. How did Kara-France claim his spectacular victory over Garbrandt? Kara had already given a spectacular first-round knockout to Rogerio Bontorin in March of this year. The 28-year-old repeated his trick from the previous winning fight to score a giant win in 3 minutes and 21 seconds when the referee intervened to stop the biggest fight of Kara's career. Kara lost a close fight to reigning flyweight champion Brandon Moreno in December 2019, but it seems like he was not one to slow down. By defeating Cody, he has once again managed to put his chances of winning the championship title right at the top. The mixed martial arts fighter showed everyone why he had earned the nickname Don't Blink right in the first round, decimating Garbrandt and sending him to the canvas 3 times before the referee called the fight. Kara took control of the fight as soon as it started and fought from the center, forcing Garbrandt to compete in minimal space. Garbrandt was looking to attack from the very start, but Kara was patient for an opportunity to let his hands fly. He caught Garbrandt with a 1-2 down the pipe and brought Garbrandt's hands down with the jab before planting him with a powerful right hand. Garbrandt was able to get up but was knocked down again. The third knockdown happened with relative ease, after which Kara backed Cody against the cage and secured his win. As Cody Garbrandt's defeat put Kara in the top contenders for the UFC title. Cody Garbrandt made his flyweight category debut on Sunday against Kara-France and was destroyed completely by Kara's amazing performance. The New Zealander stood victorious after a stunning first-round knockout of America's Cody Garbrandt in Las Vegas at UFC 269. Along with Garbrandt's division debut, the fight also had important implications for the title. The Don't Blink fighter displayed pure dominance in a striking attack on Garbrandt. As Cody struggled to find his holding on the canvas, the referee intervened at the 3-minute 21-second mark. "I told you I was going to answer a lot of questions tonight," said an emotional Kara. "I know I'm the best in the world. Taking on a former champ, I think it puts me right in line for the title shot. I'll be watching Moreno Figueiredo, and I want the winner of that fight. In 2022, you'll be seeing the new flyweight champion right here." Kara's now on a 2-fight win streak with the one he picked up earlier in March. With this impressive record behind him, the kickboxing star believes he scored a fair chance of winning the flyweight championship title, which will be up for grabs as Brandon goes on to defend against former champion Davison Figueiredo at UFC 270 in January. With Kara shooting for the title, what will the UFC do with Cody? Cody Garbrandt made his highly anticipated debut at UFC 269 in the flyweight division. The bantamweight champion was supposed to make his flyweight debut last year, but he came down with COVID alongside a bicep injury, and this delayed his debut by a year. Cody would have gotten a shot at the UFC title in the original debut, but after everything had settled down, Cody stayed at bantamweight for a fight with Rob Font, which he lost by decision. This got the title tied up. Garbrandt took a fight against Kara to settle in his new weight class, but this too didn't go well for Garbrandt. Kara put away the former bantamweight champion in mere minutes, and Cody lost. While Kara's reaching for the flyweight title, what's next for Cody Garbrandt? Nobody could have imagined this fall from grace for Garbrandt. He was a perfect 11-0 and was well on his way to stardom. Now he's at 1-5 in his last 6 fights and has been dropped a total of 7 times in those 6 fights. This has put the UFC in a very delicate situation. Garbrandt's not one of the cheap fighters. He gets paid well, but the pay should be justified by a performance on par with the salary. There must be merit for the money, which has not been there for the past few years. The UFC might give him another chance in the 125-pound division. Kara sure is adamant that he would be the next title holder of the flyweight division, but we'll have to wait and see what actually happens. In the meantime, let's move on to other interesting events happening in the world of UFC. Next, Israel Adesanya completely lost his mind watching Kara's KO. As Kara secured one of the biggest wins of his MMA career, Israel Adesanya went absolutely berserk watching him. After his impressive victory against Cody Garbrandt, Kara-France put himself right at the top for title contention. When Kara sent Garbrandt crashing into the canvas with a sledgehammer hand to the temple, the entire T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas rose to its feet to cheer as Kara celebrated. As good as it was to watch on television, the live performance was a whole different vibe. But there was still one person who was soaking in every second of the spectacular fight right from the comfort of his sofa, and he was the middleweight champion, Israel Adesanya. Adesanya was full of energy while watching his fellow countrymen at UFC 269, and unsurprisingly, the champion went completely nuts after watching Kara knock down one of the best fighters in the MMA business. In a video posted on YouTube, Izzy can be seen on his feet for the entire duration of the fight. As soon as Kara drops Garbrandt the first first time, Izzy jumps from the sofa and squeals in excitement while screaming at the television. He yells, "Let's go! I'm about to explode!" At the winning moment when Kara knocks down Cody for the last time and gets his hand raised by the referee in victory, the whole room can be seen erupting in excitement. Looks like Izzy is supporting Kara for the title as well. Up next, Dominick Cruz comes to the defense of Cody Garbrandt. Dominick Cruz is a former opponent of Cody at the UFC, but it looks like the former foe has decided to drop the grudges and come forward with some supportive words for Garbrandt during his critical moments in the UFC. UFC 269 was full of amazing fights and finishes, but the two fighters that shone the brightest were Kara-France and Dominick Cruz. Kara crushed Garbrandt and could have put an end to his run for the flyweight division. Cruz, however, believes differently and doesn't think that KO should be the end of the road for Cody Garbrandt. "I know that Cody's a champion," Cruz said during UFC 269 press conference after the fight. "Obviously, in his heart and mind, I think he'll get back on track. He's still very young. Cutting down to 125 I don't even know how that's possible for him, but he made it work, and he said it was easy, so I think he'll be fine. Just give the guy some time and let him find his bearings." The history between Garbrandt and Cruz dates back to 2016. Back then, Garbrandt defeated Cruz and took away his bantamweight title. The animosity between the two was clear leading up to the fight. Garbrandt even mocked Cruz with dance moves during the fight. Now, 5 years later, Cruz with a win in the 135-pound division is coming to Cody's defense while he's riding a losing streak. Julianna Pena against Amanda Nunes at UFC 269. Amanda Nunes is perhaps the greatest fighter in the history of women's MMA, and Julianna Pena might have been the only one who believed she could defeat Nunes at UFC 269. Pena said she would make Nunes quit, as she was at 1-1 in her last two fights and had recently been choked out by a kickboxer. The words seemed pretty empty right up until her win, but Pena did exactly what she said she would. Nunes went into the UFC Championship to defend her bantamweight title and came out with a featherweight title only. Round 1 was going fine for Nunes, but by the middle of round 2, Pena began to take over the defending champion and shock the world. "I told you," Pena said. "Don't ever doubt me again." That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Kara-France's claim to the title will come true? Let us know in the comments below. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. And we'll see you in the next one.